Hello and welcome to my series where I've been talking about health, the 4 different pillars of health in our body. If you missed the last 2, go check those out. If I remember, I'll link them in the descriptions. The first one is on your physical health, and the second one I talked about mental health. This video I'm going to dive a little deeper into emotional health, and mental health and emotional health kind of get used interchangeably, but they are different. It's just different areas of the brain. Did you know that organs can store negative emotions that are not processed in your body? You need to slow down and experience your emotions sometimes. And if you don't process them and you don't give your body time to process them, your body's actually going to store them in your body until you have time to process them. But if you're like the typical person, you're probably not creating space in your calendar for you to have that time to process and break things down. Just a thought there that you might want to schedule some me time or some nothing time into your calendar so you can give your body time to process things. Especially as adults, we tend to put things on the back burner that we can't handle or deal with at that moment, and then we never get to them. And over time, eventually, your body will force you to get to them one way or another. So make sure you're adding time in your calendar and you're allowing yourself to feel things and process things in a healthy way. Make sure you're also adding time. So guilty to not do self-care myself, but this is a reminder to me, just as you watching this video, make sure you are creating self-care time in your calendar. Do something just for you, especially if you are a busy mom. This is like the last thing on my to-do list. It's the thing that I don't even do regularly because I'm always doing something else that I think is more important. But if you are not taking care of yourself, you're not going to be able to take care of your kids and your family and the house and all the other 100,000 things that we do, right? So make sure you're doing something just for you, even if it's 5 or 10 minutes. Maybe slow down, sit down and read a chapter of your book. I love to read, so I've started to force myself to sit down and read, and it's just so refreshing to know. I look forward to that time every night where I read before bed, and it's just helped in so many other areas, my sleep and just my overall well-being. I'm just more excited to go to bed because I have created that kind of routine that I read at night, which is something that I've neglected but also love to do. Maybe you love to take a bubble bath, so schedule taking a bubble bath. It's okay if you have to write that on your calendar. Maybe if you have kids who are old enough to understand and read, you can write on the calendar and they know that that is a time where they cannot contact mom. Maybe you do it when they're in bed. Maybe you like to polish your nails. Maybe you want to call and talk to a friend. Just something that is just for you with no agenda other than filling yourself up. Maybe you want to schedule extra prayer time or extra devotional time. Something that you can feel excited about and look forward to. That's a great thing. All of our emotions stem from 2 main emotions. It's either love or fear, and the strongest emotion is love. So whenever you can incorporate more of that into your day, maybe you have a gratitude journal, maybe you just sit and think about all the people who you love, maybe you're praying for the people you love. Wherever you can incorporate that in your day is going to boost your emotions and boost your mood for the day. There's one specific part of the brain that processes things called the amygdala. And it's part of our limbic system in our brain. It's involved with our emotions, and it helps to store and release emotions and emotional trauma. And it only responds to smells. So of course I'm going to talk about essential oils. Some great essential oils to use would be frankincense and sandalwood. There's different parts of the essential oil called constituents. I will try not to get too sciencey here. Sesquiterpenes are something in essential oils, lots of essential oils that help to increase oxygen into your brain, which helps your brain to unlock certain areas of your DNA, and it helps the cell to release emotional baggage. So if you're trying to clear some emotions, maybe you have some emotional trauma that you're walking through, you're going to a counselor, you're doing all the things, you're journaling, whatever it is that helps you process those things, just adding the oils is just going to give your body that extra boost to do what it's already doing. Maybe speed the process up a little bit, maybe give you just another tool in your toolbox to use if you're processing through emotional trauma. Another just general rule for essential oils: citrus oils are always great for boosting your mood. I'm always diffusing like lemon or orange or tangerine, something that is citrusy. It just boosts your mood. Sometimes I sniff it in the morning when I get up because I'm not a morning person. Another general oil to use would be anything that's a tree. It's emotionally grounding. So like pine or cypress, a spruce oil, that would be something that would be grounding emotionally. If you just think of the roots of the tree, grounding the tree into the earth, it's the same kind of thing with the essential oil. So there are so many things and so many areas that I could get into with this video, but I'm really trying to keep them short to value your time. I know time is sacred and precious. So as I ramble on here, that was like the main things for emotions. If you have other comments or other suggestions, I'd love for you to drop them in the comments. We can all learn from each other, right? And then we can just continue along this journey that we are on. And emotional health, I feel like, is one area that is definitely neglected because it's not as obvious as like your physical body. You're not always going to think, oh, how's my emotional health today? I actually have Post-its around my house that I've started putting up so I can intentionally see that and do a quick like emotional check. One of my counselors had kind of given me this visual. I'm a visual person. She said that as an adult, a lot of times we have things that come our way, emotions, things, and we can't process them. So we put them on like this shelf in our brain, in our body. And then eventually when that shelf becomes full, things start to fall off and your body forces you to deal with them. Whether that is like a mental breakdown or a panic attack or just you're lethargic, there's going to be some kind of outward sign because your body's trying to like flash the hello, warning sign, SOS, red flag, whatever you want to call it. Your body's going to give you a sign that it's time to start processing those emotions, and that shelf is getting too full. So I actually have Post-its around my house that say shelf check, and that's my cue to make sure that I am keeping up with those emotional things. Now, if you have some deep emotional trauma, definitely seek out a counselor who you trust, a close friend. You're gonna need someone to like walk through this with you. I'm just suggesting to do the other things like self-care and essential oils kind of on the side. That is obviously not going to be your soul healing. I believe your healing comes from God, and great counseling that can kind of guide you in the path that you need to go. But emotional health is really important. I think it's really important for us to model for our kids what that looks like. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to wrap it up here so I don't ramble on too much. I hope you got some value for that. Next week is going to be the last health pillar that I'm going to talk about, so stay tuned.